been very evenly matched. We need to give huge credit to Ascendant. They are a phenomenal RMP. They have really good synergy, really good cross-crowd control. Both priests going to be charging, and Chaz actually going for the mind control onto Rattapie. So this is a little bit of a different opener. Wants to deny Rattapie that initial Mass Dispel. Both priests going for that Mass Dispel right now. Did anyone get knocked out? It doesn't look like it. Both rogues in stealth, both mages in stealth, and we'll have to see how they open.
Yeah, it's so funny sometimes to watch the priest run in the middle of the map, and they're trying to Mass Dispel the rogue or mage out of stealth. They didn't manage to find that fish, that attempt. That Cone of Cold was very close. They're going to open up onto Chaz. Raikou getting Frost Bolts out. Same with Maro. Kidney Shot onto Chaz. They need follow-up. I believe there was a fake cast on that. Now the kick and the stuns. Waz peels them away. Great start for Waz. He moves over for a Kidney Shot of his own onto Rattapie. They're going to lead out the damage. Maro, Trinket, Temporal Shields. A decent reaction. They might switch to Acro as a result. No, they're going to train down Maro through the Temporal. They managed to get the block on top of it. Maro now could potentially Mass Dispel. Not going to be able to happen there. Acro peeling them away, but Chaz now lands the double fear. That ice block is going to be ending. Maro's going to be in a lot of trouble. Chaz is going for mind controls into a fear. Maro is barely hanging on. Ebon Bolt from Raikou, tons of damage. Chaz managing to pick him up for now. Rattapie, though, into another Kidney Shot, and Skill Cap Black are just snowballing out of control.
This is incredible damage. Maro gets taken down as well from start to finish. Skill Cap Black was in control of that matchup. The initial Icy Veins coming in from Raikou paid dividends. He was able to get that crowd control that their team really needed, and Ascendant really could just never recover. Down Ascendant in game number 1, but I really feel like Ascendant just wasn't using their defensive cooldowns like they should have. Normally we see Rattapie use that paint suppression way earlier to sort of slow down some of that initial damage coming in from Skill Cap Black. Chaz once again going for that mind control so Raikou can get in a position with his invisibility where he's not going to be getting MD'd out.
Yeah, it's interesting that he always goes for the mind control to just make sure both mages. I'm wondering if Raikou had like a lead on his invisibility, if he used it a second later, but either way, Raikou and Waz are tagging together. Maru's right in front of them, but they're all invisible, so they can't see him. It's kind of awkward, but Waz is right. I can't believe that he didn't see Maro. Cone of Colds to try and find Waz. Waz dodges it. We see Kidney Shots on both of the priests. Raikou pre-temporal shielded though, and Maro did not. That temporal shield is going to protect him. Icy Veins pulled immediately. Raikou gets an early counterspell to deny any damage off of that. I can imagine Maro maybe trying to spell steal that Icy Veins off if he can. He's not finding it. Now Rattapie in the full polymorph. Maro pre-temps, but he ice blocks with it as well to try and make sure he survives. That was Raikou's Icy Veins and Shadow Blade, so it's a fair trade for an ice block, but he will be behind and also on hypothermia and not able to block for a few more seconds if Raikou can snowball this.
Chaz actually just death the blind as well, so sick plays coming in from Skill Cap Black. Raikou gets kicked out as Ascendant trying to find some counter pressure, but there's the Kidney Shot under Rattapie. Polymorph on the Acros. Once again, Skill Cap Black has all of the control on their side. Nice Spear coming in from Rattapie, trying to set up some damage over onto Raikou as Raikou gets busted down right now. Huge pressure comes in. Acros managed to land that stun. MD comes in from Rattapie as well. Interrupt over onto Chaz. Can they fall off the crowd control? There's the blind under Rattapie. He decides to trinket out, keep his team aggressive as they try to take down Raikou in that hypothermia.
Yeah, nice blink from Raikou. He blinked through Maru and stopped the Ebon Bolt from being casted. Really well played from Raikou. Well, Smoke Bomb's going to be dropped. Raikou's getting bursted. He's on hypothermia. Chaz ducks into the Smoke Bomb, catches a quick pain suppression, saving Raikou's life. Now Raikou needs to reverse the pressure. Waz leads the charge. Kidney Shot, gets step kicked, goes for Ring of Frost, gets polyed on it. Nice play from Maru, but Chaz was in position and ready and waiting to land a full fear. Rattapie pre-pain suppressions, expecting the fear. Maru now has pulled the trigger. Icy Veins is up. Will Maru be able to get the damage? No, not in time. Acro pre-evasions, expecting a swap. Chaz is now in a Kidney Shot. Raikou is feared away as the Ascendants look to set up for the second block. Penance connects. Second block for instant Mass Dispel. Barely catches a power word. Shield on 10%. Raikou on the run, and suddenly Ascendants have a huge lead. They could easily close it.
Cheap shot onto Raikou. He gets the temporal shield off. Can they get the damage to push through? Kidney Shot onto Rattapie. Can Raikou get the CC that he needs? Ring of Frost gets cast out. Polymorph on Acros. Nice crowd control from Skill Cap Black onto Ascendant right now. Big pressure over on the Acros, and it seems like Skill Cap Black is sort of forced into a position where they need to go onto the rogue. Maro's nowhere to be found. Once again, he always does a really good job pre-running the goes of Skill Cap Black. So that's very nice plays. Raikou gets interrupted on that Ebon Bolt. Kidney Shot onto Rattapie. Polymorph over onto Amaro as well. He is mind controlled. Can they get the CC onto Rattapie? Rattapie's in a good position to avoid some of that CC. Kind of a stalemate at this point. No team can really find that control. There's the Kidney Shot onto Chaz, and Chaz has no defensive cooldowns left. It's going to be up to Waz to slow down this Polymorph coming in from Maro. Nice defense from Waz. Maro not able to find that.
Well done there. Raikou baited out the premonition of Rattapie, landed a full Polymorph, and got Maro's second block. That fake out by Raikou put his team back in the fight. Rattapie now caught into a full fear. Ice block has faded. Maro is down to half, but Chaz is in a full Polymorph. The mages are racing against each other. Who will fall first? Kidney Shot onto Raikou. Maru's temp shield goes off, healing him for a bit. Rattapie's trying to reconnect with Maru. Waz is going to get there. He gets polymorphed away. Both teams have to be terrified at this moment. The next stun stun could decide the match.
Yeah, big pressure for both teams in this situation. Both rogues able to reconnect. Which priest is going to get CC first? You can see Waz charging and trying to get the stun onto Ratify. Triple DR polymorph over onto Ratify. Unfortunately, Ratify's going to be completely free because of that mistiming from Raikou. And now, this is a good position for Ascendant to be in with the full fear over onto Chaz. It was overlapped with the Ring of Frost. I believe Raikou, not much damage.
He sapped out of the fear. Nice play there from Acro. Keeping that CC chain going. Doesn't get a resap though. Raikou should be able to survive now as a result. Light's Wrath coming in, not doing too much. Both these mages are terrified. Temp Shield is their last line of defense. Kidney shot on the Ratify. No trinket available. If Raikou can land this Ring of Frost, he lands it. Acro's in a poly. Maru's on the run. Can Waz connect in time? He gets Frost Nova. Maru is kiting perfectly, but the Shadow Step kick connects. Ratify now into another polymorph. Maru's trying to keep the kites going. He trinkets out of the stun into another one. Frozen Orb, Ice Lances, get it. And Skill Cap Black come out ahead, leading this series 2-0.
It's big for them to be leading 2-0 as well, because as we already noted before we even jumped in, as of last week, we want to see them at the LAN, and we will find out now if they're going to the lower bracket.
Yeah, pay attention to this opener. I believe the reason Chaz is going for those mind controls is to allow Raikou to use that invisibility just a little bit later than Maro, allowing their team to get that opener a little bit quicker. So those plays definitely really, really important. You can see Ratify, he's just going to be sitting back, realizing they're not getting the better end of that exchange in the opener, so a little bit less standard. The priests aren't running in for those initial mass dispels. Chaz caught into the middle of the map. He's going to be spam healing himself, and now there's the sap onto Akros. How is Skill Cap Black going to capitalize on this opener?
Yeah, if they can find Maru, they're just going to open up on the Acro. Is he going to respond appropriately? It's match point. He's down on 10%. Cloak of Shadows barely clings onto his life. He tried to play it out greedy. Now he's reversing the pressure. Full Ring of Frost on Chaz. Raikou is under fire. Waz needs to peel them away in a second here. They need to stop the follow-up. Chaz is still into the follow-up. Polymorph. Raikou has to ice block. Ascendant turn this game on its head. Now Raikou gets counterspell. Nice master spell. Raikou under fire. Could easily fall. Chaz life grips him. Spamming out the power word shields. Barely saving Raikou. Both these teams are gunslinging.
What a crazy opener. Maru using his Icy Veins as well as Raikou there. Both mages caught into the middle of the map. There's the polymorph over onto Ratify. Maru gets interrupted. Cheap shot onto Akros. Nice CC coming in from Skill Cap Black. There's the kidney shot onto Chaz as well. Is there any follow-up? Maru forced into his first ice block, so all tied up here on ice block. Master Spell comes in. Chaz now putting that pressure out onto Akros just a little bit to get those heals up onto Raikou. Pain suppression going to be used by Ratify to keep Maru aggressive, but the spam polymorph coming in from Raikou to slow down any sort of attempt of pressure Ascendant has.
All right, Waz got Ratify's trinket, which means the next attempt on Maru could be his ice block in his final one. Both the mages are loading up their guns with frost bolts. They're going to have 5 icicles ready and waiting for the attack. Chaz is caught into crowd control first, and it could be Raikou on the back foot. Nice mind control on Waz. Triple CC for Ascendant. Raikou gets out of it. He temporal shields. He absorbs the hit. He's going to survive. Now Raikou's trying to reverse it. He lands a stun on Ratify into a ring frost. He gets shut down by Maru right before Chaz moves in. The Frost Nova was 1 second too late. The fear will connect, and Maru is on the run, trying to stay in line inside Ratify, but now caught in the full polymorph. He used trinket earlier on blind. Maru is in a 1v3, trades out the ice block very early, realizing this dire situation, but Chaz, he's in position, gets interrupted. Nice interrupt from Acro. Ratify needs to get out of these polymorphs ASAP to save Maru.
This is a nightmare for Ascendant. They have no defensive cooldowns left, and there's the kidney shot on Ratify. Trinkets out of it with that human racial. Cheap shot on Maru. Skill Cap Black trying to ride this momentum. Big pressure onto Ascendant right now as they manage to stabilize, but they're not getting anything going offensively right now. Skill Cap Black's playing exceptionally well. Chaz is going to be spamming out those Clarity of Wills onto Raikou. Both mages is going to be building up damage. Once again, waiting for DRs, waiting for those stuns so they can get those interrupt. Powered barrier is going to be dropped there by Ratify. Kidney shot over onto Chaz. Can Maru get the crowd control? Manages to not get the polymorph with a nice fear coming in from Ratify. But now Waz wants to go. Kidney shot onto Ratify. Cheap shot onto Maru. Is there any follow-up? Since he doesn't look like it. Nice smoke bomb coming in from Akros. That's going to be denying that polymorph coming in from Raikou there. Very nicely done.
All right, Maru gets a full polymorph on Chaz. This could be Raikou's final block. Evan Bolt connects. They need more damage. Frozen Orb gets dropped down. Will it be enough? The second ice block force Ratify times the master spell. Raikou goes for a Frost Nova, but Acro pre-Cloak of Shadows it. He's staying on target. Chaz caught into a full blind with no trinket. It's in a 3v2. Can they get any follow-up? Raikou's desperately kiting away. No. And now Ratify's caught into a sheep. Maru has nothing left. Will he be able to kite away? Kona Cold blinks, getting away from Waz for just a few seconds. He's staying at a healthy HP. Once again, both the mages terrified. Maru trying to get some blizzards down to root up Waz. He gets interrupted on the poly. Acro's charging in, but Icy Veins is up for Raikou. He can do a ton of damage. He's fake casting that Ebon Bolt. Doesn't fall for it. Nice counter spell. Cheap shot denies any follow-up. Chaz in a position to try and avoid crowd control, staying out of line of sight of the Rogue. Maru and Raikou are both at the edge of their seat at this point to survive. Both teams have nothing left.
Yeah, Waz used his blind there onto Ratify, so Ratify has no trinket. If they can get a stun into a polymorph or a Ring of Frost, it's going to be disaster. Maru still has his Icy Veins as well, so nice offensive capabilities coming in from Ascendant, but that's the kitty shot onto Ratify. Raikou charging in, Maru doing a good job interrupting that. Maru getting interrupted as well from Raikou, so both mages counterspelled in that situation. There's the kidney shot onto Chaz. Ring of Frost is going to be landed. Big pressure onto Raikou in a 3v1 situation. Pain suppression is the only thing keeping him alive, but boom goes the dynamite. Maru able to connect that Ebon Bolt and come back into the series.
Hey, North American teams, are you watching? This is what Rogue Mage is supposed to look like.
The shots, man. What?
I mean, we saw two fierce competitors with everything on the line. Ascendant needs some big points here to make it to the spring final. Let's see what they can do.
Here we go. Ratify and Chaz charging to the center of the map. Chaz with the classic mind control. Ratify line of sights it. Obviously, the Rogue and Mages are setting up their position. They're currently invisible to their opponents, so they can find the best position to start the fight. Chaz is trying to master spell. Doesn't look like he was able to find anybody. Ratify just stacking up the clarity of Will's shields, getting ready for the attack as the Disc Priest 1v1 on top of each other. It's kind of a pointless 1v1. No one's actually going to die, but they're just waiting for the Mages and Rogues to come out. It looks like Raikou and Maru are going to pull the triggers right away, loading up their Frost Bolts, getting a lot of Icicles for that big pow at the start.
Yeah, identical openers for both teams. Look at these mages. Frostbolt after Frostbolt. Clarity of Will coming in from both priests. Both Rogues just sitting in stealth. Who is going to open first? Bit of a funny situation to have here. Looks like Waz might be pushing in to get the full kidney shot onto Ratify. Cheap shot onto Maru. Big burst going out on Maru as he gets locked out there. Going for the interrupt, but he gets double interrupted there. Locked on that ice block. Able to get it off in the nick of time. Big pressure coming in from both teams.
Yeah, Maru's got a massive shield on himself while Ratify's sitting through the polymorphs. Defensive blind on Waz's trinket for 3v1, and Raikou barely gets a block off at 1%. He got locked out, but that smoke bomb denies the heals. Raikou blinks out of it. He's still got powered shields up. Both the mages, both on the back foot. Waz is polymorphed away. Raikou is finally starting to stabilize. It looks like he's got acro, but there's a full blind. Chaz into the kidney shot. Once again, both teams going after the mages. Raikou caught into stuns. Now Maru caught into stuns. Raikou will be able to get the ice lances off first. He goes in for a poly. Wasn't able to get it, or instant trinket. It looks like Raikou is just trying to crowd control the team and try and figure out what they want to do next and build a plan. It doesn't look like either team is really going to initiate anything just yet.
Yep, pain suppression still available for Ratify. Chaz has not a single defensive cooldown left. If Ascendant can get one nice setup, they can definitely take down Raikou in this situation, or at least get that second ice block. You can see Acros charging in, trying to get that kidney shot. Full kidney shot over on Chaz. Uses the human racial interrupt over on Maru. Chaz trying to get away. Waz all over Maru, not letting him get that polymorph out. Actually denying it with the smoke bomb as well.
Yeah, but now he won't have smoke bomb aggressively. We'll have to see if that ends up costing him later. Looks like Frozen Orb is down. They're trying to build up some pressure with Chaz and a polymorph, but not able to find it. Raikou is just kiting away, getting a Frost Nova and Acro in the room out of line of sight. Perfect kiting from Raikou. Acro's out of the game for quite some time now, finally reconnecting. Raikou's trying to blink away. Shadow Step reconnects. Raikou's zipping low. Could be the second ice block if Chaz isn't careful. Connects a big Archangel Penance, but they just chunked right through that. Raikou is still down below half. Kidney shot landed by Acro. Triple CC. Instant ice block forced. Luckily for Raikou, he's actually going to cancel it early to go for a Ring of Frost out of this kidney shot. That's a ballsy move there from Raikou. He lands it, but it looks like Ratify was able to premonition. Now into the full fear, though. Can Raikou build anything off that momentum of that canceled block? It doesn't look like it, as we're tying things up in terms of the Mage's defensives.
Yeah, Ratify doing an excellent job there. Like you said, using that premonition. Raikou casting out the Ebon Bolt, gets interrupted there, trying to get the spam polymorph. It looks like he's getting the polymorphs over onto Maru, trying to fake out that premonition once again, but the full polymorph over onto Chaz. Raikou gets interrupted, no blocks available. Chaz gets feared on his trinket. Raikou trying to get away. Ascendant tries to tie up the series, and they do manage to with the DR blind. Raikou's temporal shield not going to be doing diddly squat in that situation, and Ascendant playing phenomenal in game number 4.
So Healing Stat actually tweeted out before we jumped in.
Game number 5 between Ascendant and Skill Cap Black. I want to explain a situation. If Ascendant loses this series and loses the next one, they are at risk for not being able to make it to the spring finals. So Ascendant need to stay in this upper bracket.
Yep, they absolutely do, and Skillcap Black's looking to ride that momentum from the last tournament, close out this one as well, earning as many points as possible and securing the #1 seed going into the spring finals. Chaz once again going for that MD, doesn't find anyone. Maro's in a nice position right now. Ratapai's not even going for the MD. It's going to be an identical open. It looks like Raikou is actually going to be out. He's going to throw out an Ice Lance just to get himself in combat, and now Maro and Raikou going to be building up those Frost Bolts in the middle of the map. Once again, Chaz gets caught into the kidney shot. It looks like Akros wants to be the first one to strike with the cheap shot over onto Raikou. Not that much damage going to be found, though. Both mages using that Icy Veins, trying to get as much pressure as possible in the opener.
Yeah, Raikou blinking in, trying to find something defensive. Waz steps in, kidney shot. Raikou lands that polymorph by switching it over. Really well done, but Acro might be able to peel them away. No, they're actually making a swap to Acro, trying to punish him. He trinket evasions and cloaks. Or not, he was able to save his trinket, I guess, there. He's going to step kick the Ebon Bolt. Ratapai trinkets the blind to get aggressive, lands a double fear. Raikou is going to be the primary target as Acro makes his way over. Gets Frost over on the Shadow Step, but instant dispel. Raikou is still down to half. Chaz's trinket was burned in that setup. Both teams are just reloading, getting ready. Every Frostbolt is like putting a bullet in a gun. You just get another Icicle to unload later on. So the more Frostbolts you get, the better for your burst. Raikou has 5 Icicles right now. He's just going to unleash all of them on Maro. Smoke Bomb gets dropped there from Acro to try and catch him off guard, but he was able to get out of it very easily. Felt a fear onto Ratapai. Maro now caught in the stun. This could easily be an Ice Block, and he is going to trade it out and play safe with that Smoke Bomb as well paired up. Maro now blinks to safety.
Yeah, Maro blinks away, but Ebon Bolt still in position to take down Maro as Ratapai's caught in the polymorph. Maro barely surviving. Temporal Shield had a millisecond left on it, and he gets taken down. Skillcap Black going to be closing out this mirror and the series 3-2.
I swear that was like you're going like parachuting and your parachute goes out and then suddenly something just goes wrong right at the last second because it looked like he was fine.